Johan's here. Director Felix is in the house. Producer Dirk's in the house. Rudy from the consulate's here. Give him a hand. Hi, guys. Wow. Welcome to the Friends of Film screening series. Felix, tell us what we want to know. How'd you find the film? You know the story.
That guy, Johan, made a beautiful theater play, and I discovered it after it had been playing for a long time already, and I heard really great things about it, but also strange things, like it was with bluegrass music, and it didn't make sense in a way.
Thank you very much.
No, but this in Belgium, this music is not very known, so it was a strange decision.
Was not very known.
It was not. It is now. So, but I went to see it, and it was just amazing. I didn't know anything about it. I just walked in knowing nothing, and he blew me away. He blew me away. He made a perfect theater play, and then we talked about it immediately. Like, could we turn this into a movie? Do you think, this could make it to the big screen? And so I played around with the idea, and Johan was like open for it. But then at some point I thought, no, it's not possible. The play is too good, and I don't want to turn it into a bad movie. But it kept calling my name, like, Felix, turn me into a movie. So like 6 months later, I called Johan again and said, okay, shall we try? And he said, go ahead. Yeah. That's it.
Wow. Glad it worked out, huh? What a story. Now, this soundtrack, is Dan's big monster soundtrack from this film? Tell us about that, Johan.
A lot of the music was already in the play, but Felix added some classic bluegrass, other songs in it, and now the soundtrack just made it triple platinum in Belgium. It's the best sold soundtrack ever. We are considered as missionaries of bluegrass and country music now. I have a radio show every Sunday evening, and it's been crazy. It's been everybody's discovering this wonderful music, warm and emotionally very pure and honest music. And when I started writing the play, it was clear to me it had to be bluegrass music. It had to be pure and full of integrity and honesty, because it's acoustic music. It isn't amplified. It isn't. And it's music you can grab a guitar from the wall, and everybody in the family can play if they just know 3 chords, and that's amazing about it. It's very truthful. It's very honest, and I love bluegrass music, as you can hear. And I started to play the banjo, and it's a big present, the biggest present I gave myself in my life. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, to be able to play music, and I'm not very good at it. I'm an actor, I can pretend to play, but still, it's the biggest present I gave myself in life.
That's terrific. Dirk, come on down here, give me a hand, producer.
I'm not coming down, I'm just bringing some water for you.
That's fine. He also...
Producer guy.
This guy's got some dough, apparently, because he just went out and bought a guitar for a couple songs. We're going to hear from Verla singing, too? Yeah. Wow. You gonna do it now? You tell me. You warmed up?
Yeah.
Give him a hand. Come on, let him know.
So, like I said, excuse us for not getting all right. I'm gonna play a Dolly Parton song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go walking through fields where we walked long ago, and that's where it used to be. And the flowers still grow, but they neck, you kiss your sweet lips like I did long ago. And how often I've longed for those true loving arms that once held me so gentle and warm. And when I think of you and the love we once knew, how I wish we could go back in time.
Do you ever think back on those memories like that? Or do I ever cross your mind?
When all memories appear, my eyes won't stay clear. When I think of those happier times, do you
Ever recall these old memories at all? Or do I ever cross your mind? Or do I ever cross your mind? Or do I ever cross your mind?
Right.
We can do one more
Yeah, to get in the mood of the movie.
again.
I'm a big Townes Van Zandt. Townes Van Zandt is for me the biggest singer-songwriter ever, and I think the song, when I started writing the play, it was clear to me that this song had to be in it because it's what the movie's about, what the play was about, and well, oh man, I'm stressed out.
You're doing fine.
If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? And if you needed me, I would come to you. I would swim the seas for to ease your pain.
When the night forlorn and the morning's born and the morning shines with the lights of love, and you will miss sunrise if you close your eyes, and that would break my heart in two.
If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I would swim the seas for to ease your pain. Ladies with me now, since I showed her how to lay her lily hands in mine. And who would not agree? She's a sight to see and a treasure for the poor to find. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me for to ease my pain? And if you needed me, I would come to you. I would swim the seas for to ease your pain.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that was terrific. Felix, come on back up here. I don't see any tattoos over here. What happened?
She washed them off, I guess. Yeah, they were made up for the movie, so she didn't have tattoos. And I asked her, "Do you want tattoos?" No. But yeah, it was tough for you, Phil, I guess, because you were in makeup. You know, you were 2 hours before everybody. You arrived on the set to put on the tattoos.
Sure.
American actors sometimes have, like horror movies, I think that's worse.
Yeah.
Just 2 hours.
So this film had a great run on the festival circuit, right? Tell us about it.
Well, it came out in Belgium about a year ago, and then the international premiere was only 6 months later in Berlin.
Okay.
And we were in the Panorama section, which isn't really a competitive section, but you can only, have the audience award, and we won it. And then it just took off there, and the movie got sold all over the world. And we went to Tribeca. We won 2 awards there, and it's we're on a roll. Yeah.
How'd you find Verla?
Well, she's pretty known in Belgium. I mean, she's
Flanders.
Flanders.
Slight correction.
She's one of the most famous actresses, so it would have been strange if I didn't know her. But she came to the audition for this role, and she blew us away. She actually scared Johan and me. So
she did.
at the audition, it was pretty intense, and then we thought, like, this is exactly what this role needs. I mean, up front, I hadn't thought about it, that this dark side of Elise should be really there, and Vela brought this along with who she is, and just saw it in the character, I guess, and from then on, it was clear that she was the only one who could do this.
Thank you.
How about little Mabel, huh? Oh, gosh. Touched. Just... Yeah, I'm touched. Any questions out there, guys?
I'm glad this wasn't Friday night.
My goodness. Go ahead.
What inspired you to write this glorious story?
Well, in fact, I wanted to write something about religion. I always start with a political thing when I write stuff, and once I burned the Flemish flag, for example, with another play, the whole parliament was furious, but I wanted to say something about religion. And it seemed as a black mirror, as the opposite of what the character of Didier was saying. It seemed wonderful to have a character like Elise, who has a very strong religious sense, and with the bluegrass music as a black mirror, all the opposite of what Didier says. And then listening to the music, I just thought, man, I need the saddest story I can imagine on a small scale. It's not war and everybody, but on a small scale. It's and like that, the love between Didier and Elise was very important. That it would be a very true and passionate love, and I just kept drawing strings, pulling strings. That everything should be the opposite of the other, and the structure just fell like a puzzle, and it amazed me, and yeah, that's how I came up with it. It started with the religious thing. Thank you very much.
1 second, Rob. I want to talk about the back and forth. Was that planned? You bounce us around in this film, right? Tell us about that.
Well, the theater play inspired me to do this because it was very different. It was very simple, actually. You had a bluegrass band on stage, and then just 2 actors who are also the singers of the band who started telling their story to the audience. So there was Johan, and it was another actress. So it was so pure and simple, but it worked like hell because Johan, set it up very clever. Like, he also jumped around in time, I guess, but on a very simpler level, because he just told stories, and then very quickly you knew that they had a girl and that she died. So you knew that was the backstory, and yet they went back and forth in telling how their relationship evolved, and then at some point you realized, okay, it's not about the death of this child, it's about this couple who actually split. Right. So the second half of the theater play was really about that. And so when we started adapting the script for the big screen, I said, okay, we're going to have to play with time to have the same effect. Because when I saw the theater play, I started crying after 5 minutes, and I didn't stop. So I wanted, the movie to have the same impact on people. So we started playing around with time, and we developed a screenplay where we had like 3 time layers developing at the same time, and we were going back and forth. But then when we saw the first cut of the movie, we actually felt that it wasn't working the way, you know, the play. It hadn't the impact the play had, and it, as a movie too, it wasn't. I mean, that's crazy with film. I mean, you write a screenplay you work on it for a year and a half. You think this is a brilliant script, and then you see it on the big screen for the first time, and it just doesn't work. So then in editing, we started over, and then we kept the idea of playing around with time, but we forgot about how we set it up in the screenplay. And actually, it was just amazing because we discovered things that we never had thought about just by playing with it, and somehow a lot of the magic that, you know, what for me is in the movie happened by chance.
Nice. Thank you. Right with you.
Happened by chance. I want to say something about that because no. You know, his editor Nico Leunen, he won this year. He won the prize of the Flemish Community of Cultural, and it's a very big prize. So he's an editor who won a Flemish Cultural Prize. Wow. He's an amazing guy. He's the best editor in and what these guys did, they did the editing on an emotional level, and they just followed the characters and the emotionality of the characters and the storytelling, and it's not really by accident. I just wanted to point that out.
Thanks for clarifying. Robin, I'll be right with you. I just want to point out there's a scene early in the film where Verla takes off after that first morning, and you come out, you're facing the road, and you know, you're in your birthday suit. I just got to tell you, you reminded me a lot of myself in that shot. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's my wife, honey. Thank you.
Yeah, we're the same.
Go ahead, Robin. I had to break the tension. Go ahead.
So a comment about what you just said and then the question. So the comment is, this edit, it is so, I've seen this twice now. You could not tolerate the agony of this film without this, the interweaving all of the ecstasy of romance all the way through the second half.
Yeah, I think it's
like
very.
It's like an accordion. That's
I think it's very important that the love story is in there, and that the music is in there, and sometimes the humor is in there, to make it to light, to give a breathing to the audience. Absolutely. Because otherwise it would be just a melodrama, and it's not a melodrama. It's much more than that. It's a very
It's actually Mellow-drama.
Yeah, voilà. It's a
pure Mellow-drama.
It's a roller coaster ride through love. It's
okay. So wait. The question is,
that's a good quote. A roller coaster ride.
It is. So the horse was named for Earl of Scruggs.
Yeah.
Right? That was wonderful. And what for you was the biggest challenge watching this transformation and working with him on this transformation from this muscular play to the film, and also the political rant was so brilliant. Did you start with that political rant? And then
that's what I was pointing out there. It's I started with the political idea, and then the music came, and then the story came. It just crawled up to me. But the biggest challenge. I worked with him for 3 times now, and I think he's the best director in Flanders at this time, and I have 100% confidence in him. So and I played the play for 150 times. For me, it was impossible to be part of the screenplay writing. I couldn't be part of that. I wouldn't be objective enough to take a distance. Mm-hmm. So he just took off and did what he had to do, and I had 100%. We rely on each other in that.
So now you guys forced to continue to perform together as a musical duo, and you're going to go out and have a career.
Well, we had to tour in Belgium because we're so popular right there now, and we had to tour, and it's not the hardest thing in my life. I can pretend to be a musician alongside with a lot of great musicians, and Vele, who sings like Dolly Parton, no, it's great. It's just it's a ride that I am enjoying every second of it, and I'm not being modest about it. It's just great what happens, and I'm very proud of it.
A roller coaster
ride.
Yeah. So how do you feel, girl?
I
Mutual, I hope.
What? Excuse me?
Mutual
Yeah,
Okay,
mutual.
okay.
The thing is also, this music really helped me through some things because I studied comedy musical, and it's a very hard way of singing, and I wasn't really good at it. And because of this music, I regained a sort of freedom in singing. So yeah, thank you, Bluegrass.
Beautiful. Rachel, you had a question.
First, I want to preface that my daughter lives in Belgium. She's been there 30 years.
Hey.
So that's just a preface. But you had such important messages in this film. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the most important films that must get out to the public. You had the fact that you really were not that happy about her having a baby, bringing a child into this world, that so much could go wrong, and it did go wrong. You had this message about the stupidity of religion and how it hurts us. You also had Bush in there, and you had the nonsense.
We didn't notice.
Of his religion and his vetoing that stem cell research. To me, this is one of the most important films I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I have some comments about that. Thank you very much. That's what I was set out to do with the play, but I wasn't expecting that the movie would get to America and I would be confronted with. But I think it's important. But I think it's much more. It's very important that Elise has a religious feeling, because I believe that everybody should believe whatever they want, but please give atheists room too, because it's not really allowed to be an atheist. Anywhere around the world, it's being it's.
I do have a quick question, which I wanted to.
Yeah.
Why at the end did you put in "Tell Maybelline
Yeah.
hello" for me?
Yeah.
I was wondering why that. Was
That's the most important sentence in the whole movie, because it tells that it gives the what's the word? Het geeft de boodschap. It brings the message across that you can believe whatever you want, and if you're in need of religion, you can do it. But it's very important that you don't use religion as a political army, as a political weapon, yeah, or as a tool for something else. And post 9/11, I had the sentiment that religion was interfering with my life again. Me, who just, I believe in being good, I believe in gratitude, I believe in love, but all of a sudden it was like very, polar. There was the Muslims and the strong religious. It was becoming frightening, and I wanted to write about that. And for me, another sentence like, it's okay to give to spend thousands of dollars on technology that's able to kill someone, but technology that's able to cure someone is forbidden, and that's mainly what I think about it. But it's my personal opinion, and it's very important that everybody leaves the hall, the venue, with the feeling that it's important that you have your own opinion, but don't force it up to anybody else. That's mainly what I think.
Beautiful. I just want to know, Gary, before I take your question, I used to be an atheist, but I gave it up. They have no holidays. Go ahead, Gary.
It seemed like what you're saying is exactly you. In the end, you showed your willingness by conceding to her belief.
Yeah, and also you can feel a need in DJ to believe, because he lost everything.
Right.
He lost
Yes.
everything. And then it's very important that you can say, if you're in need of something, grab hold to everything you can have. And in the DJ's case, it was the belief that maybe it's true that I will meet her again, and my daughter too. And the music was the relief too.
The door was open.
Yeah.
That's what that said.
Leave the door open. That's a nice quote. Leave the door open.
What was the other one?
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, given the back and forth of time in the film, how you structured the play.
Oh, Okay, the play started with a monologue in which Elise said, my great grandfather killed himself, my grandmother killed herself, my mother killed herself. What do you expect from me? So, and 5 minutes later, she says, you can't share grief, and my daughter died. So everybody knew, and then we just went back and forth on a. For me, it was important that there was humor and then the tragic story, then the music, humor, tragic. So, just to hear the breathing of the audience, and that's how it was just very structurally, just wet finger work we say, but that's just feel where the wind blows and just intuitively, I just messed it up and it worked. Yeah, like hell. We had to cry 4 times. Mika, who played the lead in the play, the first I said, Mika, I think it's ready, and we read it and we had to cry ourselves, and I, who wrote it, had to cry for 4 times, and I thought it was amazing. And
well, the mention of her family suicides wasn't in the movie, or did I miss it?
No.
I shot it, but
yeah,
she didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taddy, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I really enjoyed the music in the movie, and I'm just kind of curious if you could tell us a little bit about how you got into the bluegrass music.
Well, I was a punk guy. It's in the movie. It's explained in the movie.
It's
I was
very close to his character.
Yeah. No, I loved punk music, and I was a very big Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds fan. And Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, they made an album called Kicking Against the Pricks, where Nick Cave just wanted to show his influences, and it was all American music, just all, roots music. And I checked it out, and I just fell in love. And then, some years ago, 8 years ago, I bought myself a mandolin because I thought I finally want to learn how to play music. Oh, a mandolin is cheap. And then for another play, and I searched the internet, and I thought I would find Italian. When the moon hits your eye like a baby. I thought I would find that and Vivaldi, but I found 90% of the websites dealing with the mandolin were bluegrass websites, and I just started listening to it, and I fell in love because for me it had the same quality. The banjo has something like just the metronome was in there, like in punk music, and I just felt like coming home. That's mainly what I felt, and I felt like I'm home now, and this is my music, and I bought myself a banjo, and here we are.
Who else?
No, I just wanted to say that the movie, I just want to congratulate, the movie was nominated for the 6th European Academy Awards. And they're coming to Berlin.
Wow. And there are only 6 awards, so that's good.
In all the main awards, and please spread the word, tell your friends, because the movie opens in America and it's playing at the Sundance Cinemas on Sunset Boulevard. So, you know, it's a European movie, so for people it's hard to read subtitles, but it's a lot of music.
Will it have a wider distribution, or?
I don't know.
Will it have what?
A larger distribution.
Well, it's coming out all over the States the next couple of weeks, but it's it's 1 theater per city, but it is gonna be released in 25 cities, so we're really happy about it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's terrific.
People come from the Appalachia area and the tradition who are there now, and you probably, or maybe you don't want to go to such kind of groups. Do you think you can reach them through the music and the story itself? Because I was thinking as it was happening, if you're watching a good movie, the subtitles don't really get in the way, the language. Just, you don't even realize you're not listening to it.
Yeah.
And I thought you did a very good job of this.
Well, the American distributor was very smart because in the trailer they don't put any dialogue. So people sometimes think, hey, this is an American movie. Let's go and watch it.
But we hope to get there, of course. And for me, I met some amazing people during the whole trip of the Blog Circuit Breakdown, and it would be, for me, it would be an honor if people like Tony Rice or Ralph Stanley would see the movie. I would be whoa. But I'm sure it won't. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't answer the question. I would love that people, also in the especially in the Appalachian region, would go and see the movie because the music is there and it's a European version. It's not so virtuose as what Sam Bush and Tony Rice do on the guitar and the mandolin, and Bela Fleck and Scott Festal on the banjo, but it's honest, and I think it could capture some hearts there. Yeah.
Last call, guys. Anything? One more time. Give them a hand. Thanks for coming out.